Okay. So, just before we introduce Anson, we'll hear from one other uber talented young politician supporting her community in every way she can and in style. After her selection, the minister, oh, sorry, actually, we have ADM Thomas
Recording in
here.
progress.
Oh, Lord, that was a little late. Yes, with an address in Minister's Place. So MLA Susie will speak about her experience as an artist as well. So MLA Susie was a former board member of the Halifax Regional Board, School Board, and other boards, and an active volunteer. She also is one of, still, yeah, one of four Black Canadians elected to the Nova Scotia legislature in 2021. She is currently the NDP caucus chair. She is a member of the Community Services, Human Resources, and Private Local Bills Committees. Miss MLA Susan Hansen.
So I probably can't see me behind that podium. Oh goodness. Oh, I am. So there may be funky. Here, right? So what can I do with your microphone? Let's turn it like this. Yeah, so hi everyone, Susie Hanson, MLA for Halifax Needham. I bring greetings from my neck of the woods in Halifax, but as well as an artist. Before I became an MLA, before I was ever in politics, my role was many different things. I was a performer on television, I was on theater, on stage. I am a singer, a gospel singer specifically, and I just love to share my voice and spread my wonderful message wherever I go. I will say that as an NDP member and as well as a representative for my caucus, we've been fighting tirelessly for investments in the artist world. Can you hear me there?
Maybe just stay down here with that.
No worries. No worries. Can good now? Okay. And you can see me obviously now. Okay, so as I was saying, Susie Hanson, MLA for Halifax Needham. I have just been newly elected. I mean, it's been 3 years, but before I was ever an MLA, I am and continue to be an artist in this world. I've was on stage throughout my young life in theater and as well on television on a number of television productions and as well in many movies throughout this province. I say all of that because I believe in the investment in Black art. I believe in the notion of we have the strength here in this province to be able to do the work that they need to see from us when it's on screen, whether it's on stage, whether it's behind the scenes and in production. So as the NDP caucus member and as well as our party, we've consistently been fighting for a representation, but as well for funding in the arts, because we know that that's where we need to invest, so folks can actually be a part of these productions, to be on screen and to do the work that we know we all can do. We all have skills, and I know Tara will speak to that later, but. We firmly believe in investment in our arts sector here in Nova Scotia, which is why we were so happy to hear in our last budget sitting that there was a huge investment in arts and culture, and we continue to make sure and to hold accountable, the government in ways so that we can see ourselves on screen. We can see ourselves, doing the work that needs to be done. So I'm happy to be here as well as the MLA, but, Tara is very, very lovely in asking for some requests. So she has requested me to sing a song for you all today. So anyone that knows me, I see Obadiah online, and as well our Koala Street, formerly known as Koala's New Horizons Church. Folks know that I was a part of the choir, the youth choir, the children's choir, the choir at Koalas at the time. And so I love singing our music that we've grown up to sing, and we were, you know, I love it. So I'm going to sing "We Need to Hear from You." We need to hear from you. We need a word from you. And if we don't hear from you, what will we do? Wanting you more each day to show us your perfect ways. There is no other way that we can live. Destruction is now in view, and it seems like the world's forgotten all about you. Children are crying, and people are dying, and they're lost without you. So lost without you. But you said, if we only seek your face, it'll turn us from our wicked ways. You promise to heal our land. Father, you can. We know you can. We need to hear from you, Lord. We need a word from you. And if we don't hear from you, what will we do? What shall we do? Wanting you more each day to show us your perfect ways. There is no other way that we can live. Well, destruction is now in view, and it seems like the world's forgotten all about you. Children are crying, and people are dying. Well, they're lost without you. So lost without you, Lord. But you said, if we only seek your face, it'll turn us from our wicked ways. You promise to heal our land. Father, you can. We know you can. We need to hear from you, Lord. We need a word from you. And if we don't hear from you, what will we do? What shall we do? Wanting you more and more and more each day to show us your perfect ways. There is no other way. There is no other way. There is no other way that we can live. Thank you.
Thank you, MLA Susie. One more hand. My goodness. Woo. Mm-mm-mm. And you could become the prime minister and all that stuff, and I'm still getting you to sing that. What? Amen. All right. So without further ado, ADM Thomas, please join us up here to let us know what's happening in the arts world. Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. I feel like I need to sing or something. It's like, those are hard acts to follow. Oh, but thank you for that. And both selections, it just is really, really moving in a great way to kind of set the tone for the day. So I am super excited to be here representing the Office of African Nova Scotian Affairs, especially with the title Raising Voices, Amplifying Black Artists in All Cultural Spaces. I'm excited about the opportunity to dive into what, yeah, that's good. Yeah, okay, perfect. I'm excited about the opportunity to dive into what we're all passionate about, which is celebrating and uplifting the incredible talent of Black artists right here in Nova Scotia, or those who have roots in Nova Scotia, because I know there's some Nova Scotians that are online. Yeah. And so let's talk about art for a second. It's more than just paint on a canvas or notes in a song. It's the story of us. Every high note, every low, every struggle, and every triumph. Those stories are rich, deep, and incredibly powerful. They're about resilience, about our history, about overcoming, and about shining brighter than ever when the odds are stacked against us. We all know it hasn't been an easy ride. It hasn't been an easy ride. There have been too many times when Black artists had to fight harder to get their voices heard and to get their art seen. And it takes staff wants to help make this happen. Okay, thank you. And we're about creating a future where Black artists are celebrated, where their stories lead the way and inspire everyone. Am I too loud? Yeah, I'm good now? Okay. I just got one last paragraph, then that's it.
You want to hear it.
Yes, it is. It's even shorter. So to all the amazing artists here today, your work has the power to shape our culture and society. Keep pushing the boundaries, keep telling your stories, and remember, we're here to help those stories be heard. Thanks for having me, and let's keep working together to ensure that all voices are amplified. So thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. As she said, the music was so beautiful. We just have so much to be proud of and to be just delighted, inspired by. Now, as I understand it, Troy Lawrence is online. And Troy, would you care to say a few words? Just a second.
Hello, this is Troy Lawrence. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I'm on my phone, so I don't know how well you can hear me. I just wanted to say to Sarah Taylor, thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of this, and same with ADM Thomas. What I hear on this end is a little muffled, but I'm going to try. I was having a bit of difficulty. Can you guys hear me okay? Yeah. So it's really an honor to be a part of this, and I think a big part of what I will be able to add to this is some regional representation. Through the way ANSA is set up right now, we have PAOs to have regional representation all over Nova Scotia. And by us being aware of what's going on and being able to find out who the artists are in our respective areas, we'll be able to link them with some of the programs and grants that are out there so that they can help achieve whatever initiatives that they have and aspirations in their own careers. Can you hear me? Okay. So that's what I feel that, you know, us as regional representatives for ANSA will be able to do to help with the go-forward plan for our UBED.
Thank you, Troy. We're so pleased that you're a part of UBase and in another
You're more
part
than
of the
welcome.
province. Oh, so at this time, we're going to have Laura McKenzie. Laura? Laura is the Executive Director of Screen Nova Scotia, and she has a few words to share with us.
Thanks very much, Shelley. And I would like to just take an opportunity to thank Tara Taylor and Shelley Fashion for inviting me here today. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to come and have a chance to talk to you all about what Screen Nova Scotia is up to. I think this is really important. I'm really glad to hear that Minister Goss jumped on the idea to bring us together. So thank you very much to you guys. I appreciate it. So I just kind of thought I would come and have a talk about where Screen Nova Scotia's at. I didn't want to prepare something. I think it's important that we just have a conversation. Screen Nova Scotia, and I think it's important just to give you a little bit of a history of the organization so you understand who it is. Screen Nova Scotia, as we call ourselves now, is the province's Film Commission Industry Association. And on the Film Commission side, that means that we're responsible for attracting production to Nova Scotia. So when we have some of the larger service productions that are coming in, some of the big studio productions, it's our work to go to travel abroad and to go out and to basically tell them all the great things that Nova Scotia has to offer, and to try to persuade them to come and work with our office to land the project here in Nova Scotia. And in that way, we consider ourselves to be an economic development organization. You know, we're really about creating jobs and creating, and you know, all that. I mean, some of these projects that are coming to Nova Scotia spend upwards of, you know, $30 to $40 million in the province. And those are dollars that are injected directly into the hearts of the communities in the areas in which these projects film. And so it's really important to us that we're ensuring that there is regional representation to where these projects are going. And not only that, and I think the biggest part of this is making sure that there's representation on the sets and in these projects from the communities across Nova Scotia. And I think we all know right now that there is no representation, very, very, very little representation on screen. You know, we haven't even gotten to local content yet, but this is specifically about projects that are coming in that are hiring locals to work on their projects. So this is one area of work that we do have to work on. But ultimately, you know, we'll talk a little bit more about that. On this side, we're an industry association. So what that means is that we're responsible, we're a membership-driven industry association. We really sort of rose out of the, if I may, ashes of the 2015 Liberal government's decision to decimate the film industry. So they removed the tax credit and shuttered the Film and Creative Industries Nova Scotia, which is the Crown Corporation that was responsible for the film industry. And when that happened, Screen Nova Scotia at that time was called NISMIPIA. I know, rolls off the tongue, right? Nova Scotia Motion Picture Industry Association. It was run by a group of producers in Nova Scotia that just really wanted a space to come together to talk. But it was a very, very small fledgling organization. There was absolutely no leadership, maybe like a chair that maybe brought producers together to talk. It had no legs under it at all. But at that time, it existed, so it became the home under which the community came together to fight back against the government to bring the film industry back. And thankfully, because we have, an incredible film, I mean, those of you that work in film understand, the fight that you have in you. So we did a very good job of spreading the message internationally that we were closed for business, and did a very good job of convincing the government that we were worth it. So within 10 months, we had a new incentive put in place, and Screen Nova Scotia became the home for the film industry to come together to rebuild. So now, Screen Nova Scotia is, basically offering the services of, any international film commission. And really what that means is, as I said, we attract production to the province, but we also are responsible for developing this industry. We're responsible for celebrating this industry. We're responsible for promoting this industry. Up until, I would say, probably, 2019, we had done almost no work to ensure that there was representation from other equity-deserving communities in our organization. I'll be the first to admit we had absolutely no programs whatsoever that were specifically designed to do that work. Since then, a lot has happened. Not enough has happened, but a lot has happened. So I'm here today just to tell you a little bit about what we're doing so that we can talk about what more we can do. So in 2020, Screen Nova Scotia, we heard from some of the communities that there wasn't enough work, that there wasn't representation in the film industry. So the first thing that we did is we hired a company to go out and do an employment survey on employment trends from underrepresented communities in the film industry. And as you can imagine, the results of that survey were absolutely dismal. It was embarrassing for the film industry, embarrassing for the organization. And what we were able to do with that survey is we were able to go out to government and say, hey, listen, we need to do some work here. We're not entirely sure what that work is going to be just yet, but ultimately, the first thing that was clear to me is that as a producers organization that was a membership-driven association, the only individuals that were coming into that organization were producers and industry members that had a certain eligibility criteria, right? Very, very, very tough to get that eligibility criteria. So what we did is we changed the bylaws. We removed one of our student memberships, and we included an associate membership. And so at this time now, not just those who are actively engaged in the film industry can be part of Screen Nova Scotia, but those that are interested in Screen Nova Scotia can sign up for a $10 membership. And previous to that, it was a long list of CV criteria plus $125, prohibitive for most. So, so we have made those changes to the bylaws, and it's done great work in increasing the number of younger, underrepresented individuals, diverse individuals, increase the diversity of Screen Nova Scotia quite a bit. Obviously, we're not there yet, but it's done a little bit of work. From there, what we were able to do is look at this, the results of this survey, and really identify where we could start in developing the crew base, in increasing the diversity in the crew base of Screen Nova Scotia. So that's when we started our diversity internship program. It started out as a very small program. I did a pilot year with the Halifax Black Film Festival, where essentially what we did is we took the 4 individuals that graduated from the Being Black in Halifax program, and we gave them a 2-week professional internship, paid internship on a film set. It was, it went great. It was wonderful. Lots of problems, right? I think the first thing, if any of you work in the film industry right now, you'll know that working on a film set in Nova Scotia, like your typical film set, it's not the most welcoming environment, right? It's pretty toxic, to be honest, right? It's, it's a capitalist society in there. Everybody's focused on the bottom line. Every minute is money. There's not a lot of time to learn on a film set. So the next year, as we were coming into it, we did an audit on the program, and we decided that what we were going to do is we were going to bring in BIPOC Film and TV. BIPOC Film and TV is a Canadian organization that's responsible for supporting representation in the film industry across Canada. They're a wonderful organization. Their executive director, Kate Douglas, is a prolific speaker and worker and doing this work across the country. So we hired their organization to come in and provide wraparound services for this program. So essentially what we do is we bring in now 12 emerging new entrants into the film industry. They don't have to have any experience. They can come from any age group, any underrepresented community it makes no difference to us what your experience is or where you come from. You can come into this program, apply. We accept 12 individuals, and they get paid for 4 weeks on a professional film set. And this is projects like MGM Studios projects. These are, Sullivan's Crossing. These are Diggstown. This hour is 22 minutes. These are, some of the most professional film sets that we have in Nova Scotia. And so BIPOC Film and TV provides this service where they basically, spend a few hours with all of the interns when they first come into the program, and they basically give them a sort of what to expect, right? This is what you have to expect. And we see it as a little bit of a compromise between the mentor and the mentee. You have to know what to expect, and the mentor needs to know how to meet you where you're at. This is never going to be perfect. It's never going to be exactly the way we want it to be, because ultimately these people, these mentors, are still people that are in positions that are getting paid to do a job, and they have to do that job, and they can get a stipend for supporting that intern. But that intern needs a lot of support, right? They're brand new. They have no idea what to expect in this toxic environment. They just know it's going to be scary. So it hasn't been perfect, but it's come a long way. So halfway through their 4-week internship, they get a one-on-one check-in with BIPOC Film and TV, gives them an opportunity to just say, hey, is this normal? Is this the way it's supposed to be? Am I supposed to be treated this way? And if anything is not normal, then it gives us an opportunity to go to the mentor and say, hey, we're not entirely sure that this intern is getting what they need from you. Maybe we could talk about maybe going to a different department or, shifting gears. And then ultimately at the end of it, we do an offboarding session. So KDM will come in and talk to the group about, what they learned, what was their experience, and how can Screen Nova Scotia step in and help them with in the trajectory of their career. The other thing we like to do is, if the production is having like good success with a particular intern and want to keep them on, if we still have money in the bank, we're going to give them money and we're going to keep that person on set. Like, keep going. I think this is one of the most important things that organizations like Screen Nova Scotia and our initiatives can do, is like take advantage of the opportunities, be flexible, say yes, right? So this is one of the most important things that we've learned over the years, is just make sure that anytime you see a little bit of passion, a little bit of excitement, right? These are, mostly people that never ever thought that they would have an opportunity to work in this environment before. Here they are thriving. Throw all the opportunities their way. So this is a mentality that we've adopted that I think is the most critical piece of work that we're doing in our office, is say yes. So that's, going into its next iteration. It's going through its audit right now. The program's going to start up again in April. We're going to be looking for 12 new interns. If anybody in this room knows anybody, please make sure that they know to come and look out for that program, because we've had so many great successes. We've had people getting hired on for the rest of the production, getting brought back into the program year over year. So that program is wonderful, but it's just one program. So what we've also done is, essentially to access our programs, you have to be a member in good standing. So what we've offered is an opportunity for anybody that comes from an underrepresented community to come in regardless of their membership standing. And ultimately, if they don't think that they fit the criteria, come in anyways, right? Let's see if, maybe you are the best person for the job. So let's forget about, the application, what the application looks like. Let's forget about, what you're, that you don't have the right amount of experience, the right criteria to get into this program. Again, it's about saying let's look at the person, let's look at the human, and let's make sure that if there's somebody out there that needs an opportunity and we can provide it, that we're doing so. So again, it's about changing the mentality of the people that work inside the organization. I think that's really what baking it in means to us. And then, I guess the next thing we're looking at, and Tara can attest to the fact that this has been a long running project. We've had some funding that we've been trying to develop a new program that would be available to all communities across Nova Scotia, all equity deserving, sovereignty seeking communities across Nova Scotia. And initially it started to look like a production training program, but I think we're building it out a little bit more. I think ultimately what it's going to land on, and we'll know for sure in the next couple of months, is a pre-development and development program where we'll be giving out pre-development and development funds for new entrants and mid-level people coming into the industry to start to develop their stories. So essentially a pre-development fund is, I have an idea, but I need some time and I need some support to put that idea into a format in which somebody might look at it, or you might be able to submit it to a development program. So this is a project that probably will be upwards of $200,000 or $300,000 a year. I think it's going to go a long way, but we're going to need Screen Nova Scotia is going to need do some more work to make sure that we are getting the word out to the people that obviously are going to be served by this particular project. So this is an exciting one, up and coming. Ultimately, what's the goal of it? There's a lot of national funding programs out there for getting a project into production that will become a calling card. So you want to do a short film, you want to do a web series, you want to do a TikTok, you want to do whatever it is. We want to put people in a position to access those production funds. So that's the whole goal of the program itself. So that's kind of where we're at right now in terms of programs. Obviously this is the work that we're doing, targeting underserved communities. Ultimately, what we do in our office is we have a number of different talent development programs. So we have a writer's internship program where we take writers and we send them into writers' rooms in Los Angeles and Toronto. We have a script development program where we invite applicants to apply. They can submit a long-form feature film script, and if selected, then we'll put them in contact with a script development supervisor as well as a producer mentor, and they'll go through a program to bring their feature film script to the final draft through the end of that program. Within Screen Nova Scotia, we obviously are always looking for new opportunities to work with communities to develop, to find where the gaps are. And that's one of the reasons why, some of these programs have taken so long, is we need to do, this industry scan to figure out, like, what is the value chain of a film, bringing a film or a production to life, and where can we be the most helpful and not duplicative. And there is so much great work going on out there, but right now we think that, making sure that we are using this opportunity to increase our workforce by bringing new entrants into the film industry, providing opportunities to get new stories into the commercial world, whether they end up getting financed through Telephone Canada or through the Canada Media Fund, just making sure that there is funding to bring new entrants and new individuals, new faces, new voices into this industry, and ultimately to get their projects made. So without rambling, I'm not sure there's too much else I can tell you about. Is there any questions about Screen Nova Scotia, the work that we're doing? Okay, great. Well, thank you again for the opportunity to come talk. And I have some cards if anybody wants to talk about any programs or anything that we do. By all means, please get in touch.
Thanks, Laura. I just also want to, sorry, I was upstairs trying to get the TV down, the volume down, so we didn't hear it down here. But I was prepared with the background about yourself. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone knew that this isn't just Laura's job. Like, she actually cares to make everything that she talked about happen. Because I remember back when I used to be on the board, and there was a young lady on a particular production that didn't have a good time, and I let Laura know about it. And she tried to do something about it and thought that the people in charge would be able to help, and it didn't work out that way. And then I heard Laura told me actually that she was the one who pushed this for BIPOC TV to be instrumental in helping further. So I just need folks to know that you are the one. I was told before that, you have to take your flowers when we'll present your flowers when they're presentable. They should be presented. So thank you for recognizing the activist work that's going on. Thank you. Okay, so I just want to break it up a little bit. We're just going to hear from two more folks, another artist, as well as Culturelink, Mr. Rod Powers in the room, Breaking Through the Screens program. So I'll just break it up a little bit, and then after that, we'll take like a 5-minute health break just to kind of, shake it off and come back for some more. So let me see here. Mr. Todd, I think I'd like to bring you up a little earlier. Or Mr. Todd, Mr. Troy. Todd's not here today. Where are you? Oh, you're over here. You answered the phone. Well, twin brothers. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm just going to bring you up a little bit earlier. So come on, sir. Let us know who you are. The Jackson Brothers Productions.
So I'm so inspired to sing because I love the acoustics in this place. I'm going to give you a little song, okay? Is it good? Okay. I could just sit around making music all the day long. As long as I'm making music, I know I can do nobody no wrong. Who knows? Maybe someday I will come up with a song. Makes people want to stop fussing and fighting long enough to get along. I believe in music. I believe in love. 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 That's it. So as I look around this room here and I see Auntie Edith back there on the placards, I see my community, Gibson Woods, because I'm a Gibson, I'm a Jackson from Inglewood. Obadiah Jones is on the Zoom over here. Miss Jones, she taught us civics class when I was growing up. We heard our black stories in that class. Not in other history classes because I'm a black don't crack, I'm 54. So when I was, when I was in school, we didn't hear our stories. Miss Jones, she made sure we heard our stories and we knew who we were and are. So I'm standing up here and I hear all the people saying they're giving back, they're putting money back into a decimated film industry. I would like to say this. I like this room that we're in right now because we're creating our own thing. They're invited, you're invited. But I would say this, I'm part of the Jackson Brothers Productions. I'm Troy Jackson. I have a twin brother, Todd Jackson. And we decided a long time ago that we weren't gonna wait for grants. We weren't gonna wait for people to pay attention to what we had to say. We had something to say. And we're going to invest in our own selves. So we pulled out our ching-ching, our money, our credit cards, and did our own thing. Tara Taylor, force to be reckoned with. Shelley Fashion, force to be reckoned with. I love it how you are percolating things. Mentorship is in the room through you. I would also like to encourage everybody in this room, you got something to say, we have the power in our cell phones. We have the power to shoot some beautiful things on these gadgets that is film quality already. So we don't have to wait for somebody to give us money. We can do our own calling cards with this. So I encourage everybody in this room that wants to create something, create. And then you know what's going to happen? The people that have the money are going to come to us anyway because they always do. Because they want to make more. Right? Right? Our ancestors are all full up in this place, and we come from storytellers. Shelley said earlier, I'm just the eye candy. Well, we know that's not true, right? But I will say this. I was talking to you earlier, and I was saying that, look around the room here. We got some beautiful people from Nova Scotia. We got some beautiful vistas and places to shoot at in Nova Scotia. We have some incredible storytellers in Nova Scotia. We have incredible talent in Nova Scotia. We just have to basically step out the front door and somebody's there already. So I would say, look around this room, press some flesh, shake hands, right? Get them cards, get them contacts, and start creating together. Yeah? Start creating together. That way, we don't have to wait for people to come to give us money or to catch up to us, because we're already there doing it ourselves anyway. Right? That's basically all I have to say as far as that goes, but is make sure that you're networking. Make sure that you, like Issa Rae from Insecure said, she's like, don't try to get all the people upstairs to pay attention to what you want and try to work with them. Look at who's around you. You get together with them. Work together. Work together, and you will build beautiful, amazing things. And we're standing here in the Black Culture Center. This is a beautiful, amazing thing. Yeah, so I want to say thank you very much for creating beautiful, amazing things. Everybody else, please keep on creating beautiful, amazing things. Thank you. Oh, okay. I'll just put my business out there. So I am, I'm a dad. I am, as my child calls me his Bing. There's two Bings, so there's two dads. And so my child is definitely being activated in music, being encouraged to express himself. He has his 6.5. His first album was out on his birthday last year. He will have a music video out soon, which he made on Canva at 6.5. I'm like, oh my God. My mother was most recently with us, and she was in our guest room, and he's like, Nana, I need some quiet time. And she's like, oh, okay. She left. Later on that evening, this child comes upstairs, and this is what I was doing. Played us his song, and it's called Be You. It's going to be out soon. It's beautiful. It's amazing. Did the lyrics and everything, right? And so when they see us, when your kids see you doing your thing and working in so many hats, they're encouraged by that. That's mentorship right there. When they see you singing and belting it out and don't people are encouraged by that. That's a storyteller. That's a storyteller, right? MLA, she was here earlier. She was saying, well, I'm not a creative person. I said it, please. I said, you're black in politics. You're creating and creating all the time. So I would like to, like I said before, please keep creating, look around this room, and keep doing beautiful, amazing things. Because you know what? We can't help but be who we are, because beautiful and beautiful and beautiful. Hey.
All right. Thank you, the Jackson Brothers Productions. And I'm also going to ask Mr. Rob Power to come forward. But before I do, I just want to let you know Culture Link CIC is a community interest company dedicated to transforming the intersection of art and commerce by building inclusive facilities where work, play, and collaboration combine. The first of these facilities is Lighthouse Art Center. Mr. Mark Allman approached me many years back to sit on the board of the Link Performing Arts Society to represent theater in HRM, and I'm still employed over there with them today as a community navigator, helping them bring folks from the marginalized communities into the facilities, and having worked with he and his business partner, Mr. Rob Power, to continue the work that Charles Taylor Theater's pilot program, Breaking Through the Screen, started in that building for African Canadians. So they've always been on board. to help see this program to fruition, and now has taken it over and has built it up to even larger heights. And the participants currently now are working on this hour's 22 minutes. So I wanted to tell you a little bit more about that. So without further ado, Mr. Rod Power.
Morning, everybody. I'll give the audio guy a second to adjust there. I probably won't be as emphatic as everybody else. Thanks, Tara. Thanks, everyone, for having me here. I have to talk about two things, I guess. I just want to kind of riff off of what Laura was talking about in the film industry. I came here in 1998 to work for Salter Street Films, and I ran their post-production, and more relevant, I ran their soundstage. So I got to meet everybody on the film crews. And there was Floyd Kane and one other guy, and I forget his name. That was it, right? No representation. And even up until now, no representation. I noticed it, didn't know what to do about it, up until now. And it's Tara's idea. Breaking through the screens is not my idea. And so, but part of the reason that exists in the film industry is that the industry it has kind of an apprenticeship model, and people are brought in by personal relationships. And then and it's less about credentials. You know, like I'm a CPA, but if I went to go work on a production right now as a production accountant, I would start at the bottom. And I would get in because I knew somebody who would vouch for me. So those linkages didn't exist, haven't existed. And now we're all, as a group, trying to create those linkages. And that's what'll solve that, or hopefully solve that issue. It's not that toxic on film sets, but certainly it's an industry that has tolerated toxic behavior in the past, and certainly I know that globally there's a real effort to change that. And so thinking about that, and so Tara brought Breaking Through the Screens to us in its first iteration, and it was kind of a general awareness model of the industry, and we did that in 2 years, and I thought about it, and just because I know who works in the industry, and I knew, for example, that there's been a chronic shortage in sound recordists, and I know that two of the sound recordists have retired recently, and I was like, there's gigs for sound recordists. There's always a demand for grip and lighting people, and then on the administration side, there's always a need for production assistants. And I said, Tara, why don't we target these 3 specific things, and we will get people the entry-level skills, because it wouldn't matter if you were Mozart. Your first gig on a film score would be, handing out sheet music or something. Like, that's the way it is. And so I said, let's get them the entry-level skills. But more importantly, we got to put them in the room with the people who will vouch for them for their next gig. And then we got to time it right. And so the natural ebb and flow of production in Nova Scotia is that, they start to recruit their crew May-ish. Productions will start June, July-ish and run through the fall. So we started training in January. They're going to finish in April, still with those relationships, because it's tough when it's like, oh, yeah, I did that program a year ago. I don't know what that person's doing, blah, blah, blah. The people that hire are going to have recent close contact with the people that are being trained through that program. So they're going to come out of that. Let's hope. They're going to come out of that program. Productions are going to be staffing up, and they're going to be fresh, and people are going to know their names. And that's how I think, I'm hoping, and I feel confident that that's going to achieve real results. And then, as Tara was just talking about some stuff that Laura is doing, that the thing that we can do, and because of my background, is kind of technical and infrastructure related, I'm all focused on below the line stuff. Tara, it's producers, creatives, and writers and stuff. And then Laura, connecting people with funders and the agencies that support film. Like this, the 3 things are going to work well together. But then larger. So Breaking Through the Screens, we've partnered with NSCC, so we engage them to actually build the curriculum so that it's a properly created and delivered curriculum. We found industry people to teach and mentor, and then Tara and I kind of focus on 22 minutes because they're in our building, but I know we've got some stuff going on with From, hopefully, and all that. So I think this is going to work. But I'll just talk about Lighthouse, in a larger context. So there's a legendary, and I listened to an interview with him one time, and he said, be of service. Be of service to the artist. And that's kind of how I like to work. I'm here to serve. Breaking through the screens is Tara's idea, not my idea. And I was like, okay, how can I help make this thing work better and achieve the results? Solely brought Fashion Week to us, and I'm like, this is a good idea. I like this. This is good. I ain't telling you how to do it, right? It's just, okay, what can I do? What can I support? And I like to paraphrase Pierre Trudeau, where he said, it's in the bedrooms of the people. Well, Lighthouse, we have no business in the creative of the artists. We're your canvas. We will help support you do your thing, whatever that is. And that's if we be of service and we do it well, we will have our success and we will grow our 2020, and it got canceled. And so, that's so we stumble along, and we're making it happen. And and if you've not heard from us, believe me, come talk to us. And I want to be doing things that people don't expect that we would do. And I have this other line, it's like, if you're not slightly afraid of what you're doing, then you're not pushing hard enough. So, we want to be, it's a resource for, the entire community. And, we work hard and we try, and we don't do everything right. And I love for when people to tell us, what we're doing wrong. Occasionally give us a nod that we're doing okay too, would be great. And just know, like Lighthouse is there for, we've got Ryan Beltmeyer created the Link Up program. And so we just try to keep building on those things. But yeah, we are to be of service to the community.
All right, folks. So let's get up and move. My goodness. So I'll give you the choice. We can take a 5-minute health break just to kind of, maybe use the bathroom, whatnot, and get a little snacky or something. Or we can pummel to the rest of our speakers and then have our lunch after that. And then we'll be moving into our workshop. So I'll just leave it up to y'all. We're here, conversation. Want a little break?
I think Tara is passing out paper. Yeah, okay. Because we have a trivia contest.
Oh, my last baby.
Oh my God.
My last baby is your first baby.
Hi. I'm Riley. I'm Margie.
We're
Yeah, that's good. Okay, does everyone have a pen and a piece of paper? Okay, because we're going to have a little trivia contest, Scotian trivia, and there's a prize.
We don't get nothing? Can the panel win or what?
Okay, we ready? So yep, there's 6 questions.
There's actually 12 because she did 6 and I did 6.
But there's 12 questions.
So we'll use my ones for the opportunity if you really can't get the first one.
Oh no, mine are really easy. Okay, first question. Okay, hold on. I can't see too well. Who sang the theme song for the television series Sing Hallelujah? Write it if you know. And don't cheat. Okay, second question. Who was the a cappella group that toured the world singing songs of the Nova Scotia Black experience? That was an easy one. Third question. What was the 2 singers who were finalists in Canadian Idol from the Prestons? And the last one's going to be tough. What was the name of the singing group from Africville that traveled the province in the 50s and early 60s? I told you it was going to be a tough one.
Shelley, did you say there was 2 finalists for?
2. There were 2.
Yes, okay.
That's number 6.
That was number 5. Okay. And you said you have 6 questions? Yeah. And you said you yeah.
So just in case you don't got all those ones, we got all 2 more.
What? Unbelievable.
6 more. Then you'll have to share the prize.
Wait.
Listen here, son. What does bands stand for? Who founded it? And what are their artists? What does bands, B as in ball, ANNS stand for? Who founded it and what are their artists? Who wrote and performed the song Rise Again, raising over $7,000 for our public cold water maintenance? Who sang in the Nova
Here you're
Scotia
going too far.
Choir and played a recurring role on the Trailer Park Board? What is the name of the author who wrote Chasing Freedom? She is the author of several books of poetry, children's, and young adult books. What international singing group won the Slate Family Polaris Heritage Prize and were also anti-racism activists?
Oh, read that again.
Say that one again?
Read that one again.
What international singing group won the Slate Family Polaris Heritage Prize and were also anti-racism activists? Last one. Who is a textile artist and painter that draws her inspiration from their family's history of silk making? Okay.
So I guess I'll collect the answers once you finish.
Yeah, so bring all your answers to Shelley, and then we're going to make our U-base announcements while you're trying to figure it all out.
There should be 11 questions then.
Y'all came together, so you're allowed. We might win.
12 questions?
Yeah, put your names on it too. Is anybody online taking part? And then you can Put your answers in the chat. All right. So while we're pondering over all of that great stuff, I'd like to bring up. Hey, Andre. Oh, they pouring over the answers. Cheetah's over here. Oh, that's cheating, I think, though. Oh my goodness. So I'm just going to make a couple of announcements, and I'll actually let you know the history of UBase. And then I'm going to bring up some friends, and then we're going to go to our panelists. So basically, the reason why we started UBase was just because we wanted to have, we actually wanted to have a BIPOC, I guess, not really committee, but we wanted to have our own section of IATSE, Local 849, and that's the union that looks after the crew, and that's what we first were after. But it didn't work out when we met with them, just because they couldn't wrap their heads around how to really like form it and who would lead it, and what, would it be just for Halifax, would it be for all Nova Scotia, because UBase is national in scope. And so because we couldn't really figure it out, we figured, okay, we probably should have to do something on our own. And so what it is that, like, in the industry, in the beginning, the industry kind of thought, oh, mate, like, are they really, pulling the current members away from the current unions? What is this union doing? And so we really quickly let them know that that's not what was happening. What was happening is that we had to create a platform for Black creatives that are B3, Black-led, Black-serving, and Black-focused, but not Black only, because all of us have amazing and lovely allies that we work with that we did not want to exclude, and we're not an exclusionary type of people. So, what the union is going to be about is working with anybody and everyone. And we're working with Cox and Palmer lawyers to create a space where people are paid fairly. We're creating work for them to actually work. And I'll give you a quick example. So back in the day, myself and Denise Riley used to be called the Wranglers. They'd call us up and they'd say, hey, we need 300 Black people for background in 3 days. Can you do it? We said, well, no, but we can give you 250. So that's what we were known as doing for a lot of the productions. And it was hard to do it because people work. You know what I'm saying? So you can't just take somebody from their livelihood and say, come make $10 an hour to go do background that you might not even be able to get into the movie, right? Or further your career, because people would come in doing background work, but they wanted to be on the screen or behind the scenes or whatnot. So basically, we're like, once we create this organization and we're training people, they're now working around the clock, 365. Then when you call us for those 300 people, we can get them to you in a day. Because why? Because they're on the clock. They're being paid. They're being looked after. They have regular work. That's all we want to do. I think it was Troy who said type of thing like, we've been here, right? So we've been working. We have above the line positions in our community. We have below the line positions in our community that are already being fulfilled. And so all we want to do is be a part of the big old pie. And what is that? Making beautiful movies, long-lasting movies, award-winning movies, television series, all the things. Singing, music, fashion, all of it. And so all we've been doing is just running around, creating good partnerships out here so we can build, grow, grow, grow. And woo, over this way, these 4 gorgeous people, and actually the 5th one in the back, M4 Media, Benga over there working hard on the live stream. So because he can't come away from the live stream, I'll quickly say the partnership, what it is with M4 Media. So basically, Benga has a studio in Dartmouth and Wise Road Professional Center. And he basically approached me and said, can we start some podcasts? Can we create some new content, some new podcasts? And so he's had people into his studio. We started a podcast by Philip Gannon and crew. And Nicole Johnson, who's producing for Mutual Radio and doing hosting for his community events. And so basically has just been over there creating some new content to go where? To go on U-based members' new broadcast streaming platform on Roku. So, all that to say is that we can have as many mentorships as we want to. We can have as many partnerships and make as much content as we want to. But y'all, CBC ain't putting us on the channel anywhere. Global media is not putting us on the channel nowhere. We love them, but they're not putting our content on, right? So we basically had to create our own broadcast station and our own radio station, and we have done that. Yeah. Come on up, come on up, come on up. So we're going to hear from Mr. Ryan McIntyre and Darren Hudson, solely short of Solely Fashion, Solely Productions, and Mr. Do I have to call you Basha? Romaine of Basha Concepts, and we've created a new partnership of it's Wildax TV, and they'll be the series that Basha will create will be live and on our streaming platform.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me? Hello? No? Oh, okay. All right. Genetics working there. Thanks to you again, to Tara and Shelly, for what they're doing in terms of inviting creatives like myself who sit in a skin that is often demonized, to see the value of us deeper than what society has portrayed us as. And I know Tara mentioned about giving flowers. I think it was to a few. It's necessary for us to give flowers now when they can receive it. So for me, Tara, thank you. Thank you for championing us when the doors are closed and no cameras are there. Thank you for creating the partnerships and looking at us for our value. So I want to take this opportunity while we do have cameras to give you your flowers. And before I go for for you, Base, was very important when I got that phone call. And then that phone call also connected to other spaces, like when say, this is what's happening to me, and know that it's going to get checked, answered right away. I'm on that phone call saying HFW is something that is passionate within me. It creates a space for diversity to sit without a checkbox. My domain got blocked. Blocked. I'm on the phone telling Tara this. I get an email come through. And I'm sorry, I'm going to get emotional, but I got an email come through while I'm on the phone speaking with her, telling her the struggles that I'm facing as a Black woman in a space where nobody wants me. But yet I'm here showing up. I got an email come through say, verify your domain. And it's not that I couldn't take that money and do it, but I didn't feel like now I have the opportunity to do it, and am I in the right place? Yet I'm on the phone with the head, the founder, the person championing this space for Black creatives to be and making connections that are here tonight to give us the opportunity to continue what we're doing. She went on, bought my domains, and said solely verify. This is what Ubase is doing for creatives. So yeah, just I needed to get that out. And again, the connections. I would have had to go back to the Lighthouse and say, you know, we probably won't do another one. The inaugural would be the only one. But because of this and that extra push that I got behind the scenes, we could have sit at the table with Rob and talk about the next year, 2024, where we come back and create consistency, because that's the only way change is going to happen, when we show up in spaces. And that now leads me into the connection with these amazing gentlemen on stage. They reached out and said, Soli, we see what you're doing fashion. We're creating a series for TSN. We want you on the back end for the wardrobe and casting. Another space that I'm newly brought into, but they saw the work from Halifax Fashion Week, from the productions I've done prior to that. So these opportunities are necessary, and it needs to be amplified. Where's my amplifier? It needs to be amplified in spaces like this and outside of these spaces, and continue the growth where we have partnerships with people who don't look like us, but they're not serving as checkbox opportunity. So that leads me to Darren and Ryan and what they've done with TSN came to me and said, Soli, we want diversity there, but we don't want it to look like we're trying to create a diverse space. We want it to be organic, and we want you not just pay you to be the production casting element of this. We want you at the table. We want you at the table. So I pass this now over to the doers, Ryan and Darren. Thank you for trusting what I'm doing, and for Tara coming on board and saying the production, the filming. We don't have to go outside of Nova Scotia. We have Basha. We have the M4. We have people here that can do the work, so that someone like myself, an immigrant who took a plane and came and landed in a space where people who look like me are doing what they're doing, and I can contribute to this conversation instead of erase what they're doing, is beyond powerful. So, Ryan and Darren.
So you know I don't like when people are modest. I just want her to mention where she is taking fashion. She ain't just doing fashion, y'all. Can you please let these people know where it's going, please?
Oh my gosh, I thought I take up a lot of time here. I'm a talker, I'm Caribbean. We like to stretch things out, not just, in the way we pronounce words. But yeah, so again, what I've been doing here in fashion is just showing up in a space and build my tables, because no one invited me to sit at theirs. Again, I'm not what the industry looked like, and when I came and started making noise, they didn't want me here. So yeah, I built my tables. I didn't know there was shoulders that I could lean on in the space as I stood there singular. But I kept building, and I just hope God aligned me with the people that needs to me in my space. So with fashion, it saved me. So I wanted to give that opportunity to a space that gave me so much as a new immigrant coming here to Nova Scotia. So I created Soli Production Management Inc., and now I have a team that's doing their stuff under the House of Soli. And we've taken fashion from popping up on Gottingen Street and shutting it down, stomping on Black Lives Matter, because then we are here 365 days doing what we do, contributing to the conversation of growth in all the industries that we represent. And then now taking that fashion into Halifax Fashion Week and walking into space like the Lighthouse Arts Center that we've now named the home of fashion, because that's where now I have an office space, thanks to the One North End as well. But Rob, being able to see beyond, this is not going to make me money right now, but I see the long-term value of what you're doing. We've seen the hustle on the street. We've seen your pop-ups when you couldn't afford to do other stuff, and bringing a diverse, talented crew along the journey with me. The Lighthouse kicked off Halifax Fashion Week in a way that people thought this is a production that could be in Paris, could be anywhere else, but it's here in Nova Scotia, and why not? Why not us create a niche here in the whole fashion scheme that can sort of generate revenue streams for those of us that are doing our thing in this province? So again, kudos to the Lighthouse for seeing the vision and beyond the immediate cash output, which led me to designers from HFW were able to go to Paris, go to New York Fashion Week. Yeah, because they saw the value of people investing in them, sponsorship from you base pouring into us, so we could take the production beyond the realms of Halifax. People that would have never been able to access opportunities in those mainstream markets now have that incentive to go there, getting recognized by major designers and other agencies. So that's what the house is doing in the realm of fashion and creating noise, because we stand with support and on the shoulders of people who believe in what we're doing. And I've been doing it out of pocket. I've been doing it out of pocket because I love this industry and what it can do for me. But now having the support of people who want to invest back into it, who knows where the limits are, but we just keep going. So New York Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week, Halifax Fashion Week will also be on the conversation of people outside of our region.
This gal right here has a vision, and she includes so many people. She's able to connect and draw from so many great talents, and that's what a person needs to succeed. like I've heard a lot today in this conversation is we're not waiting for others to help us. We're waiting for them to catch up, you know. And I've always trusted in that if you have passion and you have a vision, there's not much that can slow you down other than yourself. And now, like you see it, I see talent, and I see deep within inside, and great connections of people that are incredible to work with, and that's a great kicking off platform, you know. And we got some great things in mind, and for me, I know that life is about a process, and I enjoy that process so much. And there's a fuel in the air tonight, I tell you. It feels good. What I've learned in my life is it's all about the people. And that's what God has put on this earth to look so beautiful. And we are the most beautiful and the most ugly things there is on this planet, that's for sure. But that's the reason why we are where we are right now, is those connections that we've made. I know for myself in the lumberjack sports industry, since I was 12, I looked to my mentors who were down in the USA doing lumberjack shows, Henry J. Peters, and my dream to work with him, and he led me to meet great Maori champions in New Zealand, and I said, okay, well, these guys are the ones I'm going to stay with. These are the guys I'm going to visit. These are the guys I'm going to learn from and share time with, and they're going to help me to grow. And it's because of these connections that we make along our journey is how we get to where we are. And of course, God's hand upon us that we accept the opportunities that are there and help them to grow. Put a little water on them and a little fire, and let's go. I'm so happy to where we've been. We've had some incredible memories, and we look forward, of course. We're happy to make this avenue and take some amazing people along with us. And hey, don't worry. This is big picture solely. You ain't seen nothing yet. So this gal here has some incredible ideas, skills that are oozing out of every pore. So, and I need something that's more than just me. And I know we all know that too, because we are social creatures, and we all need to get that blessing from each other. And so let's keep on rolling. I'm going to pass it.
I'm Ryan McIntyre. I'm with Darren and Soli a little bit. Soli was speaking from the heart. Darren was too. So I'll do the same. Those names on that board over there, I live in Weymouth. I grew up in Acaciaville. Acaciaville, Jordantown, and Conway are predominantly black communities outside of Digby. That's me. That's where I'm from. And when I was growing up, the black community in that area was always incredibly supportive and welcoming to me. And it was mentors like my coaches growing up that were there for me when I was a teenager and lost my dad. And it was coaches that stood up for me and helped guide me through that process. And I've always had love for those individuals since that time. And now to be in a position to use this platform that, you know, Darren and I have gotten to through years and years of hard work, to be in a place where we can develop a television series and do it in a way that provides a platform that recognizes and promotes other cultures, opens doors, creates opportunities for artists, for production companies, for fashion, for athletes. This is where it's all coming from. And we're incredibly proud of that. We're incredibly thankful to be in this space, Tara, and we are incredibly excited to be partnering with the Union of Black Artists Society to produce this series this year. It's going to be amazing. It'll be the best axe throwing thing on television. I can guarantee it. And I want to thank you so much for trusting in us, joining us, being a part of this, because now we are all in this together. We are partners. How many times have I said that to you? We got Basha, Basha's wife Maya. They are producing the series for us. They're a local black-owned business that are going to produce this television series. And we are very proud of that. So thank you so much. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm very happy that we had the opportunity to be here. Thank you.
Okay, no, it's all good.
Yeah, I'm not the spokesperson for Basha Concepts Media. My wife is not here today. She couldn't be here today. Better. And so, hello everyone. My name is Romain. I am the co-owner and co-founder of Basha Concepts Media, and we've been doing this business since 2018. But I've been doing photography since 2013. Yeah, 2013, and it's been a wild, wild ride. Where do I begin? I have to say a big, big thank you to Tara for really standing up for people like me. And when I say people like me, I mean a lot of us are newcomers, and it's hard to come and feel welcome in a space. And I don't want to feel uncomfortable talking about this thing, but I felt uncomfortable in this space several times, and I see what Tara has been doing to change that narrative, and I really, really appreciate you for that. And I really, really appreciate you, Base, for really sticking up for us and really trying to set it straight. You know what I mean? Set it straight. I'm from Jamaica. I worked in the production television world for a long time. So does Maya. She's actually a very, very big producer, was a very, very big producer in Jamaica. She produced the #1 morning show. So when the idea came, well, we met Tara the first year actually we got here, and we did a feature film / documentary, and we showed it to her. We just used our little camera that we had at the time, and we just filmed that thing, and it really looked good, and she really loved it. And that gave us the power to believe that we can do it here as well. And I think that's what we need. People believing in us and believing in our craft. Yes. So again, big thank you. Now to these lovely people up here. I think they're amazing. They're really amazing. Very real. That's what I love. Very real people. They don't beat around the bush. They go straight to the point. And that's what we love. and that's what we love. It's funny, we're talking about axe throwing, right? Beating around the bush. Yeah, anyways. They're really lovely people, and we're excited. We are getting the team ready. We're looking forward to a great production. The team is excited to be filming this, and we know there are greater things in store. And yeah, the next couple of months, it's going to be lovely. We're excited about it. And we want to say thank you to you, Base. Thank you for sticking up for Black artists such as myself, and continue to do the good work. And we are here to support you as well, and we will carry your name far and wide. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks, team. So I just want to quickly, I guess, end that by letting y'all know that in addition to the Lighthouse Cultural Link partnership for training folks below the line, we've also secured a partnership with NASCAD, Nova Scotia Community College of Art and Design, for our above the line folks. And so that's where Basha Concept comes in. They'll be teaching through that and teaching and preaching through that as well. And so just to let you know, we're bringing it. So we want y'all to bring it. You know what I'm saying? So after we have a discussion with who's on the panel here, we're just going to do it. I'm very, very loose. I want, if the audience has anything to like ask or talk about. After that, I also wanted to see who else is in the room here. I want you to be acknowledged because y'all are doing it. You're just doing it well. So first, to my right, I'm just going to ask each person to go down. Let us know your name and what you're doing, what discipline you work in, and also, we can't forget the people online. So yes, let's do that first with in person, and then we'll go online.
Hey, so my name's Philip Gannon. Tara brought up a little earlier. I'm part of we started a podcast. It's a podcast that we started about almost 2 years now, and we work with M4 Benga out of his studio on Wise Road, and we just it's like I want to make a type of talk show. You know how you'll see United States has all these shows. They have Jay Leno, you got, well, sorry, not anymore, but they have like Jimmy Kimmel and all these late night entertainment shows. And I feel like not even just the province, in the country, we don't have anything like that that's like talks about entertainment, like new artists coming up, just talking about what's going on in the entertainment world. So kind of want to bring that, going to make a platform for new artists to come in and kind of promote what they have on the go, even promoters to come in, like anyone up here to come in just to talk about what they're doing in the entertainment industry. And yeah, that's a little bit, I'm new to this, but it's going good so far.
What's the podcast called?
It's We Started a Podcast.
Oh, very
we thought,
cool.
We thought that'd be easy to remember.
Literal. Yeah, I'll remember it now. Hi, everybody. My name's Riley. I'm here representing Halifax Theatre for Young People, and I'm here mainly to share some information about a project that we've got coming up to see if anybody is interested or has questions or ideas that they'd like to contribute. We are currently embarking on a project called the Community Seeds Project. Right now we're planting the seeds of what we hope will develop into large-scale productions. And a key factor of this, honestly the purpose of the whole project, is that we are going to be collaborating directly with marginalized communities to create art that is both by, about, and for those communities. And understanding that theater and film and a lot of these artistic disciplines are still really entrenched in white supremacist ways of working. So acknowledging that, we are trying to even like backpedal how we're trying to make theater and establish ways of working with people that actually work for them, instead of trying to change people to try and fit into white supremacist systems. So that's a big focus of the project. We're working with 3 communities. We're looking to work with 3 communities. One is the queer and trans community. One is deaf and disabled communities, and of course, looking for African Nova Scotian communities as well. And that's why I'm here today. So yeah, if that's of interest to you, if you have a theater idea, if you're a theater person or a film person, an actor, interested in lighting design, who knows, please feel free to reach out to us. We're Halifax Theatre for Young People. You can find us online. You can send us an email. We're really just at the beginning phases of this project. So right now, open to any type of feedback, and really ready to take it on board and yeah, support theater and arts in African Nova Scotian communities.
Thank you, Riley. And Mia, special Mia. Just before you go, I just want to put in more flowers for HYP real quickly, because Tessa couldn't be here. So I had a discussion with Tessa. So Tessa is the artistic director of HYP. And so when she was first telling me about this program, and she said that they you all had did something with the Mi'kmaq community. Yeah. And so she's like, again, like just like the allies, they're hearing us, is all I want to just really say. So she recognized very quickly that they have their own form of theater, like that you weren't going in to say, oh, poor Mi'kmaq community, you don't have theater, let us show you. It was more, you know, what can we do for the young folk that want to get more into theater? So I just wanted to make sure that we knew from Tessa and HYP that work is real and sincere, so thank you for that.
Oh, and I actually will add one other thing. Sorry, you just reminded me of what I'm supposed to talk about. Thank you, Sarah. We're also sort of in tandem. We've started running youth programs, basically like theater workshops, drama workshops for youth that are offered for free. So we're coming in and offering them. So we wanted to get rid of the barrier that finances have, because that's such a huge barrier, especially in this provinces for so many people. So we are also looking at, right now we've got one running in Spryfield, and we're looking at sort of extending the program. So also that's something that you think would work really well in schools here or different community programs. Again, please feel free to reach out. Okay.
That all sounds really cool. I'm excited. My name is Lamia Reddick. Hi, everybody. It's been a little bit challenging for me to say, where I'm coming from these days in terms of where I work, what I'm doing. I'm doing a lot. I'm currently unemployed, actually, and so I think that's also a new part of my journey and my story. I was fired from my job in September 20th, and I've been being able to talk about that a little bit more now in the community as, something that I have to identify with and talk about in terms as it relates to like being in the industry because, though my position ended, it still didn't stop my work. And so I think that's also really important. And I, wanted to say that just because, when you're in this space of, unemployment or unemployed, that these titles, they can mean something, or you can kind of be in a space of like, well, but like I have so much skills. I'm doing so many things. And so, it's just been interesting, like seeing on here, it's like, former executive director, like that is real, right? Like that former part is true. But at the same time, like, having the opportunity to be an executive director of a company it's a really, really big turning point in my career. Because I had already been executing my whole life, with Lamia Connects and the businesses that I was running. I built a program called Blockhouse from my basement, my mom and I opened up our basement house to kids in our neighborhood to kind of fulfill their need for creative space. I started the North Preston Surf program. I won Best Documentary from Screen Nova Scotia for a Freedom's Wall documentary that I made. So
Can you slow that down and say it one more time? I'm not letting you go over that too quick.
But I think that why it's like
I said say it one more time and louder.
Okay, so writer of Freedom's Wall, which is a documentary that is about the North Preston Surf program that community built. We were interested in the question of why are we so close to these lakes and all of this water and not experiencing, being able to get to that beach. And since like 2020, 2019, COVID, so, I've been on a journey. I think that's what I wanted to like say for the most part, that I've been on a journey and that I'm actually really excited about being able to share that journey with y'all, like in terms of talking to community about it, because there's so much personal work that I've had to go through. I'm tired, but at the same time, I see how everyone's continuing to show up. My dad was here with me earlier. I just, like Tara, how much I care about you, and I'm so thankful for all that you've done. And I was actually just thinking about like March Break Camp, being in your filmmaking program for the first time, like making a film or like a rap music video for Universal Soul. And I actually played like a love interest of this guy. I didn't necessarily get into all the details about what's happening in industry, but I will say that there's a lot of organizations who are saying they want one thing. I'm going to say that again. There's a lot of organizations that are saying they want somebody like me. And then what happens when you get me? Right?
How you treat me?
What happens when we have to take that next step beyond talking about it? How do I get to still be a human being and do my job? Right? Those are the questions I'm here for. And it's like, it doesn't feel comfortable to be the person having to ask those questions, but I've sat with them by myself for long enough. So if there's a space for us to talk about it, it's going to be this space, right? So thank you, everybody. Yeah, it's like I'm like passing the mic.
Hi.
So Freedom's Wall is online. It's on YouTube. So you can Google it. Mirror Image Media produced it. So yeah, Freedom's Wall on YouTube, feature length, and it's going to be streamed next month. The Human Rights Commission is actually partnered with Atlantic Film Institute, like I forget the names right now, but they're going to be putting it out for free on Atlantic Film Week or something. And the Human Rights Commission is going to like make it available. We're going to do a panel discussion about the film. So there's some stuff coming up with Freedom's Wall. But yeah, it's on YouTube. You can watch it. And we in that film we talk about our history with water and our relationship and the healingness of that big thing of the ocean and the transatlantic slave trade in which we went through, right, as a people.
Yes, yes. Thanks. Thanks, Mia. I'm sorry, Denise, I just want to say one quick thing to Miss Lamia. Can the believers in the room just continue to remind this queen, you know, that she said there was very important that, you know, she doesn't, who? Can we say stepping stone, right? God knows what's the plan that he has for you. So you left your mark in that company, right? Just let her know. Believers, let her know. All right. Yes. Church. Miss Denise Riley.
Hi, my name is Denise Riley, and I'm the president of Preston Arts Dream Center Society. And actually, Preston Arts Dream Society was formed in 2016, but Tara and I, Margie, we've been doing work
here.
before that, I think about 2009.
Yeah.
But and our whole goal is to service the communities, all the communities, along with jobs within the arts, whether we're doing arts education, but that's what we want to come together, have a building where we're all under one umbrella, and that way we can outsource our work, we can hire community people that don't get the chance to work in their professions, like say the gentleman here that was doing the podcast, have a space where he can set up a podcast. Lamia can do her work. Tara can do her work. So that's the whole goal of bringing community, educating, working with them, workshops, whatever we can be helpful for within the communities and outside the communities, just sharing all the talent and letting people see that we do have talent here in Nova Scotia. So we want to also let the talent that we have here be exposed to all everywhere.
Yeah, yeah, Now you know, Miss Maggie. You know I ain't letting you off the hook.
So hi, everyone. Truly, I came up here to support Denise. Anyway, my name is Margie Crawley, better known, actually my name is Margaret Crawley, better known as Margie. So I am part of the Preston Arts Dream Center Society as well, and honestly, it's been a blessing for me. And I started out with Tara and Denise way back when, and we did a couple of musicals, and I was part of that from start to finish, and I also became background crew. So for me, it was something new for me. I always liked the arts, but it's not one of my strong points. But to be involved in something like that, for me, growing up, that was only for Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? You get me? So to have that productions done here, those musicals done here with big, like we did, what was it? Dream Girls and The Color Purple.
Color Purple, yeah.
And
we did it before Neptune,
yes,
recognize.
Right. And I'm telling you right now, it was an amazing show out. It was amazing for me. And so I was so blessed to be a part of that. And for me, we have so much talent in our township, like it's unbelievable. You wouldn't even know unless you're involved in the township. And I would encourage you right to this day that if you don't know about the Preston townships, come and visit our community sometimes, do our church services, whatever you need to do. And the talent that we have is amazing. And so for me, I would like to, we are trying to create a space where we need to work on our young people. Because for me, I'm living my life. I'm not no young girl anymore, but I have children and I have grandchildren. that will be left here when we're gone. So we need to make sure that we're pouring into those youth. And so we're bringing them all in. And it's about showing them how to be resilient and to stand against no matter what we face. Because we all know, and Mia, with God, all things are possible. Amen.
Yeah.
And nobody can hold us back in life, only ourselves. So let us work together as a unit, and so we can get this thing going. So today I say kudos to everybody that's involved. Thank you so much. I put my stamp of God on this, and I know that He will bless it. So God bless you all. And Tara, you already know, you are a go-getter, and no matter what you face, you prove that you can do all things through Christ, because He gives you strength. So continue to do what you're doing, and I'll be along with you, all of you. Thank you.
It's not something you do alone. And you know, we're believers. I'm sorry for folks in the room that well, I'm not sorry, but because we know with God all things are possible, like she said. But the thing about it is that all I claim is that I claim obedience. Amen. Obedience. Amen. So when when you feel those gifts that are inside you, be obedient to what that gift is for the world, and do not keep it inside. That's the only advice I would give to that. So I just want to make sure we get to the people online. We have Obadiah Jones Darrell. We have Osas is on. Or maybe is she still on there? Brandon. And then we have Jacob from 2B Theater. So we want to get Jacob in there. And we have Anthony Bryan. Anthony is with UBase, hailing in from Fredericton. Okay, Troy says, yeah, Troy is still on there. Hang with us, hey. And who's that in the middle? Christopher. Oh, good gracious. That's the co-founder of UBase up there in Toronto. Or are you in Vancouver now, child? Where you at in Canada? Where you at?
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Tara.
You're welcome, Christopher.
Everyone, thank you.
While we're getting situated with everyone else online, we'll let you say a piece in there about UBase, because you didn't get to talk all day. So go ahead. I think we can hear you now.
Oh, was that for me, Tara?
Yeah, that's for you, Christopher. We'll let you get your piece in there. Who are you? What you doing on there? Who are you?
Well, my name is Christopher, and I'm very honored to be able to embark on this journey with Tara and with Soli and with Shelly, and just, I know I'm not in the room today physically, but I'm feeling the spirit of the room, and I'm so honored that all of these folks are coming together with an alignment of purpose and an alignment of vision. And I'm very fortunate that Tara and I, we met during TIFF 1 year in Content Canada, and we both just immediately from the second that we met, we knew that we were going to do something beautiful together. And so I'm very honored to have been able to be a part of this journey, and I look forward to continuing for years and years to come to help build UBase not only in Halifax but nationwide. And so that's part of our long-term vision as well, is to support UBase, yes, in Halifax as our flagship, but to also unite Black folks from across Canada to be able to work together and organize, to be able to protect artists, not only in Halifax, but like I said, nationwide. But it starts there. That's our first endeavor, and it's because part of the reason is because Halifax has the largest population of Black folks in it, and some of the longest history of Black folks in it. And where else a better place to start than that? So thank you all, and I look forward to meeting you all in person one day.
Thanks, Christopher. And can you just let the folks know what you are professionally, your artistic endeavors, just so we know?
Oh yeah, I should tell a little bit about myself. So I'm an actor, writer, and producer. Currently in contract in Toronto for a play. I've been working in theater, film, and TV for the better part of 10 years now. And yeah, I'm very grateful that UBase is going to support artists like myself, because, 10 years ago when I started, or actually it's like 15 now, wow, there wasn't an option like this. And so making sure that folks have a little bit of a head start, or maybe not even a head start, maybe just an even start. Just put us at, the same spot on the finish, on the starting line. Let us, start things like everyone should, right? Have the resources and the opportunities that everyone should, because we know as Black folks, we'll make a lot out of a little. So imagine if we just get our even share, right? And so we just want to make sure that people have those opportunities and don't have someone putting roadblocks in their way or obstacles in the way. And our artists know that if they put the work out there and they do the work, then the world is theirs.
Yes. Thank you, Christopher. And okay, so let's go to, is Osa still on the line? No, okay, that's fine. Okay, so Obadiah, can you let us know who you are?
Hi, everybody. So glad to be here with you, even though it's virtual. So for anyone who doesn't know, my name is Obadiah Jones-Darrell, and I'm a 7th generation African Nova Scotian. My family, just like Troy, my family's from Truro, but I grew up in Halifax, and I sang in the choir with Susie in the children's choir. But while I was doing that, I also played the cello and I made hip-hop beats. And so I went on to classically study music composition in British Columbia. And while I was doing that, I also went on to do my master's in acupuncture and was a therapist during the day. And that gave me a chance to give back to the community, where I would actually travel to the Caribbean, Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados, and also Oaxaca, Mexico, which has the African Mexican population, and do trainings for the community in different techniques, like with my acupuncture background. So I basically have been able to do my arts work and my professional work as a therapist for several years. And that opened the doors for me to actually go to the United States and have my first contract as a music composer, the Music Composer Fellow for the Cleveland Public Theater. And Cleveland is the 2nd largest theater district in the United States. So that gave me the opportunity not only to do music for the theater productions for the company, but I also wrote 2 musicals while I was there. And the first musical, Speakeasy, I produced it with a local cast in Cleveland, and then we went on to work with a local cast in New Orleans. And then after that, I took the production to Atlanta. So I'm doing a workshop, reading of that production in Toronto, actually on I'm just looking at the calendar, Monday, March 25th. So anybody who might happen to be in Toronto, I'd love to be able to connect with you then, as I share the production, that production. And then the second musical that I did in Cleveland is called Jacket of Blue, which is, I was able to bring Tara Taylor into Cleveland to direct that with the local cast of Cleveland actors. And that is a story about the Black Porters. And the story begins in the 1920s, and it follows a porter from Nova Scotia as he travels across the country. And then there's a skip of 40 years to the 1960s. And you have the same group of people traveling across the country from Halifax back to Vancouver. So this is a story that combines ragtime, jazz, like traditional songs, as well as soul and funk as well, where music is weaved into the story, but the important thing is telling the story of the porters and their families and the impact of the trains on not only Nova Scotian communities, Black Nova Scotian communities, but communities throughout Canada. And so that's been a huge project for me, and I've been honored to receive funding from Arts Nova Scotia to be able to do a reading of that production in Halifax in May. And so Tara will also be directing that staged reading, and I'm very excited to be able to work with Nova Scotian artists again, because originally I did the first reading of this production in just before COVID hit, and we got funded by the Playwrights Guild of Canada to be able to do that first reading. So, it's been a stages, the development of the production. First did the reading in Halifax, then took the full production. We did the several shows in Cleveland, and now bringing it back to Halifax, where not only is there going to be the reading and the music performed, but I want to have a community dialogue with people in the community to get the feedback. Because when we did the shows in Cleveland, I was able to get impact from people that are there.
You guys have created this beautiful opportunity to look equity in the eyes. And I really want people to kind of like really make that commitment, organizations to make that commitment to doing the right thing and to not leaving anybody behind and to not build this work off of Black women's backs. That's what I'm asking for. Because I'm like so happy for all the success that everybody's having, and I see that I played a role in that. I'm happy, I'm clapping. But at the same time, I'm like, I want us to be acknowledged now. And so that's what I'm asking for. And so yeah, anyway, so that's a challenge to the panel, to us to hold each other in this together, and to take this journey together hand in hand, and to show those diverse stories and the complexities of people, North Preston people, myself, my family, show those complexities. We want that. Anyway, so yeah, I'm ready for the big world stage. Big picture Soli, big picture Mia, big picture everybody. Like we're living there. I'm like, I'm international. Like we got babies that are taking flights and stuff. Like we're there. So I'm just really excited about getting back to what we know. Right? We know how to do this. We know how to be together. We know how to love each other. Let's show the world how to do it. Yeah. I'm feeling good now. It was rough starting, but I'm ready.
Hi. For success, my success is actually being able to try and stay with this art center. We don't have the visual, we don't have the building yet, but being able to stay for this long, to see in the success of putting on performances, like we said, the Dream Girls, Color Purple. I was an assistant director for the township play that we put on there. So that's the success, but in the challenges is all the red tape. All the red tape that we see. We know we can do it, but it's so many blocks ahead. So that's the challenge. And the next step that I'd like to see with you base, everybody, all of us coming together under one umbrella, just working together, performing, putting out, having a podcast, having a network, music studio, just everything, because we have a wealth of talent here in our communities. And so that's the next goal, is to actually have a physical building where we can just let loose and just let our talents and their talents come together and just perform.
Yes.
Excellent.
That's right. Excellence. All right. Last but not least, we'll just have those few words from the folks online. Just a very quick. Now, I'm sorry, but your time has gone down to 1 minute. A success in your career, a challenge, and what for the future do you hope? And so we'll pummel right through. Jacob, are you still there? Can you hear us? And Obi?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead, please.
We can't. We're having a hard time. It's choppy digitally. What is the question? So, or what's the problem?
Oh, sorry. A success in your career, a challenge, and what do you see and want for the future? 1 minute.
Success in my career, challenge, and what we hope to see in the future. Success in my career, like honestly, initiatives like I described at the end to broaden our network out, to broaden our Nova Scotia net out nationally would be a huge success. Both internally for me, like what seems selfishly, but also the more the impact we can make to see more theater rolling over, and not just being produced here, but like Obadiah said, like being produced and touring all over either the continent or the world. Like that's huge, because our breadth of talent and our depth of story is that rich in Nova Scotia, and we are looked to on a national spectrum in Canada. Like, our communities are looked to, and our stories are looked to as a collective history. And so there's a beauty in that. And so that'd be a success. The difficulty, it's the same difficulty that every arts organizations have, and we just need to advocate that we are important. All art is important, and it builds community, and people do not come to cities, people do not come as tourists to experience a city to look at the buildings. They look at what's inside of the buildings. They look at what murals are on the buildings. They look at what's happening in the buildings. And so it's the same difficulty. We have a mayoral election coming up in Jabuktuk, and we need to band together to advocate and make sure we're heard that we're still one of the poorest funded cities across the nation in terms of art. I think it's up, and we're very grateful for the increase. But we just have to make sure that we keep the pedal down and just advocate for ourselves and our art. And looking to the future, I think that kind of encompasses those two things kind of melding together, that we see the advocacy rise and we see the rollover of Black Nova Scotian and African Nova Scotian stories being rolled out across the country, and the establishment of more theater companies like the Charles Taylor Theater. That's gonna do it. Like, that's the vision for the future. But what's going to achieve that future is what we were discussing in terms of those challenges and those hopes for success for the collective. Because theater, why I love theater is because it is the team. It is the quintessential team sport. One thing doesn't happen without the other. A musical can't be told without a composer. And a story can't be told without a writer and an actor and the carpenter who put the nails into the set and the painter who made it look beautiful. So that's the collective hope. Thank you.
Thanks, Jacob. And Obadiah?
So building on that, actually, I'd like to start with my challenges. I have well over 100 rejection letters, and I have received so many rejections that are pleasant, some that are not pleasant, some that people basically say that they're not interested in the types of stories that I have to say. And that's hard. And telling stories and staying strong with the fact that I'm trying to tell stories from an African Nova Scotian perspective, regardless of being in rooms when people are saying that that is not what they're interested in, it's hard. And, I've been knocked down so much. But I think at the end of the day, that also drives me to want to be better at not only the work I do, but how I present the work. And that has been something that I've learned that has really been a positive, which has been learning about writing grant proposals and learning about setting up the business structure of being an artist. And I think that is what has allowed me to be able to grow over the years, because when I was able to establish a core of a business structure and an understanding of how to be able to negotiate with companies, not only in Canada, but in the United States, Brazil, Africa, and throughout Asia, I think what helped me to grow. And that's what I like to be able to see more of us do, is learn the business side of being an artist. So I think, moving forward, I just like to be able to pass on those skills that I've been able to learn to others and be able to collaborate with as many people as possible, because we're all on the same journey. Thank you.
Thanks, Obadiah. And our last two, and then we're going to lunch. Christopher and Anthony. Still there, Christopher?
Okay, so I guess I'll go first. And so if I heard the question correctly, it's things that I consider a success in my career. I think the last two projects that I worked on were successful, just because they were both projects that had such talented Black cast members, and being a part of those productions. One was Fairview in Vancouver, and the other one right now is Three Fingers Back in Toronto at Tarragon. And both of those productions, looking to my left and my right, I was very impressed by not only who I was working with, and in terms of their skill, but how long they had been in the industry and successful in the industry. One of my castmates was in the original production of what is that production that was at? I can't think of the name of it right now, but this goes back 10, 15 years in Toronto, and has been doing it consistently since then. And then also with the production that I'm in now, Donna Michelle St. Bernard, she's doing a play for every single country in Africa. And so the play that we're doing now, Three Fingers Back, is on some of the difficulties that both Angola and Guinea have had. And just knowing that, I'm a part of something that is her life's purpose, right? Is to do one project to celebrate each country in Africa. And it's just so inspiring. And that being said, I think one of the difficulties that I face is also relating to both of these projects, because in doing these projects, I'm realizing that both of them were by Black creators and Black playwrights and featured Black cast members. But you know what they didn't have? They didn't have Black producers that were making the profit off of this, right? And so that, to me, to witness that and to be grateful at the same time that I'm grateful that our voices are being heard and our images and our likenesses are being seen. But I think the next step for me to really consider it a real success, or even better, greater success, is for those productions to be Black led, and for the people that are making money from this, and to know that money is going back into our communities. That to me is an integral part of it. And until we get to that place to where that is consistently happening, and it's not only stories of Black trauma, like Jacob said, but stories of Black joy, stories of Black excellence. But you know what? Black folks can have some mediocrity in there too. We all know everybody else gets it. So, just showing that, you don't have to be, sometimes you can just be, right? You don't have to be trying to live up to some standard of what you think greatness is. Like, we all want to strive to be great and to be excellent. Yes. But it's okay to be where you're at as well. And so, I love everything that I've heard from both Jacob and Obadiah. Like, I definitely want to connect with you two while you're in Toronto. And I think that will also be a success for us to start in community, because, we can all do whatever we want to do alone, but we're so much stronger together. I'm so grateful for Tara, and I can't stop this without saying that one of the major successes of my life is to be able to embark on this journey with you and with Shelly and with Soli. And so I'm very grateful for that. And thank you.
Thank you, Christopher. And Anthony, and then we're going to end with Ms. Margie. Anthony, you there?
Yeah. So I think the question was about like successes.
No, one success, because we hungry.
Sorry, it's hard to hear on this end.
What a success and a challenge, and what you want to see in the future.
Okay. So successes and challenges. I guess like a challenge I've faced is I came to Fredericton from Trinidad, so as an immigrant artist, it feels like you're playing catch up a lot. Like a lot of artists who are newcomers, a lot of artists who are immigrants don't have access to like grants in like New Brunswick, like artist grants, because they're for Canadian residents. That's something I've really wanted to, like when I get the opportunity to work again, when I get the opportunity to make art, I would love to try to adjust that, to try to fix that. So that's been a big challenge. But in terms of successes as an artist, I have like a very great community. I live with artists. My partner is very supportive. When I did Love Pizza and Hair Grease in Halifax, we were able to put that together in such a short period of time because of that community we were in. We were all like helping each other out. That was lovely to see and lovely to have. And I don't know, I had friends come out to like every single one of these shows, so I have the support. I have like people in my corner. Um, and I think that's integral to find as like a artist, like having like your audience be people you love, and being able to like work with people you love. That's really the game now. I really want to invest a lot of time in doing more projects like that. So yeah, I hope that answers the question.
It so does, Mr. Anthony. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Miss Margie, please.
Okay, so mine is very simple. I won't take much of your time. Anyway, one of my successes is just simply being involved in the musicals that I mentioned earlier, and just receiving some really positive feedback from community members that attended those musicals, and just encouraging us to keep on doing what we're doing. So that was one of my successes. So I stayed the course, just like Denise said. So that's really great. A challenge I think for me is like a chain of communication. I feel like we're lacking a chain of communication between the arts world. And so if we face a challenge and we don't know our next step or where we should go, can we have some kind of a avenue where we can reach out to somebody and say, yes, this is the challenge I'm having. Is there any way you can help me? What is my next step? So that's what I feel like is a challenge for us. What I want to see and what I know we will see is our physical building where we can all come together and be one.
Thanks, Miss Margie. Miss Queen, and I'll say again, you know, the believers, we know, what do we got to do? Keep speaking it. Don't stop speaking it, and we will have it. And so I just want to end just real quick with folks, you folks, who is in this room, let us know. We'll go, the folks we've already heard from, we'll skip over, because I'm trying to think. Oh, after lunch, I want to know who's here. Just really quickly, who's here? What's your name and what do you represent? Yeah, go ahead. Because you sat here for some long time, we got to recognize you. Yay, welcome. Go ahead, my darling. In pink. Who's next to Tasha? And we have Jesse over there.
Hello, yes, my name is Jesse Merveille, and I'm the founder of Dreadlocks and Kindness.
Hey.
And I'm so excited to be here. Someone who, with me right across from me, her name is Tanya Paris, also known as Sandbottom Artist, and together we are Noctoid, producing these events, looking to empower independent artists. That is my passion, and specifically professionalism it takes to take the best opportunities and make it successful. Right? There's no point in this movie away, they can't hear you.
Yes, and the other lady in pink.
Visual and audio storyteller. I started out in this industry when I was 17, and I'm going to be 30 in April.
Woo!
I'm having an early midlife crisis. My contract at CBC just ended, so now
Stepping stone.
and now I'm entering the freelance world and trying to figure my life out after being a broadcaster and a significant person in the media for so long for the Black community. It's like, wow. Now, like, where am I going now? So, I'll talk to you guys.
Yes.
Listen.
All right.
But yeah, I just try to do what I can with the media to amplify any current events or just successes or even traumas that happen within the community. And if that's like either in
And who's the queen next to you? Thank you, Kaya. Can I ask you, how come you put your name in quotes? What, that's an alias? I'm playing with you, honey. Ah, okay, just a little bit. We get a little taste. All right, and who's that queen next to you? Oh my God. I'm weak. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Hey. Hey.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yes.
Right on. That's right. Amen. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Is there anybody else in here that we didn't get to? Who's that right there? I can't see. Troy? Yeah. Okay, I think we got everybody who we didn't get to. Who is it? Oh, you have a question, sir? Yeah, why not? But we only have our workshop after lunch, so also the people who are not staying for their workshop, then just make sure you say goodbye to people and you make connections and all that kind of thing. Okay, go ahead. Tis the season, Mr. Power.
Okay, so my wheels are just riffing like crazy. You laid off from CBC, laid off twice. Don't worry about it, right? For you, listen, I've got the scars all over me, right? And it's just part of the journey. But what I heard, the theater, the 40 theaters in the U.S., So you build a play here and it runs through there, right? The podcasting and you guys, Black-led news, why not? Right? Like the media had like I've been thinking about the retreat of CTV and CBC and all that, and it creates room for something new and different. And so, and I want to get this out there before by the time I get to after I eat my lasagna, I'll forget it all. And so, yeah, no, my brain is on fire, and it's connecting, right? And so, it's worth the time to hear everybody talk about their thing, because for a while I was like, oh my God, this is killing me. But then it all starts to connect, and then that's what the purpose of this was. And there are ways to connect here that are much bigger than the individual things, and the change, of course, leads to opportunity, and I think the theater thing. The fact that there is a retrenchment in media and major shifts there's opportunity, and I'm just honored to, that you let me back up the talk a second time. And then I'll wrap it up because it's time to eat, but there's lots of really interesting stuff said here this morning. So I applaud you all.
Rob. All right, thank you, Rob.
Fill them bellies up.
Okay. So we're gonna break for lunch. It's kind of late, but it's there. And I wanted to also announce the trivia, folks, the contest.
The winners of the trivia, the winners of your $100.
There was a tie. I can say this while you're going. Debbie DeLeon and Deanna Sparks.
Smart chickies. You'll collect your prize at the end of the day.
Thanks, everybody.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Before you leave, can we get some pictures? Oh, hold on. Don't touch a thing till we bless that food.
Bless food.
Are there any deacons in here? I don't know.
You can do it.
I'll do it.
Maggie can do it. Maggie do it.
Okay, everyone, we're gonna bless the food, please, before we eat it.
So can we just have everyone's attention while we thank God for this food? We're just going to thank God for the food this afternoon. So Father God, as we assemble here, God, we just want to give you praise. We want to give you thanks. We want to give you honor and glory simply for allowing us to see this day, dear Heavenly Father. God, I just ask you for blessings upon every single person here. And Lord, as we partake in the food, God, we just partake in it with grateful hearts, Father, that you have provided everything that we need, Father. So bless us this day. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.